Hello, my strong shorties. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be telling you exactly how long it actually took me to lose 20 pounds as a petite woman. I am 5'1" to reveal this leaner, more toned physique. So I really wanted to make this video because I feel like a lot of fitfluencers are promoting a lot of weight loss in a short period of time. They're saying things like, I lost 20 to 30 pounds in 3 to 4 months. And I am really wanting to do this video to give you a perspective that is different. And there are a lot of reasons why they may be able to lose a lot of weight. Hi, Quenny. In a shorter time frame. I feel like trying to tell people that they should lose 15, 20, 30 pounds in 4 months can be more detrimental to your self-body image and your self-worth, because whenever you don't hit that goal, then you feel bad about yourself and you feel like it's your fault and that you're not cut out for it or you didn't do everything right. And it brings you into this negative loop of dieting. It has you in a way more stressful place with your food or your exercise. And those aren't really the reasons that you didn't see results. Probably because you didn't give yourself a long time frame to make what you were doing sustainable and to see progress. Okay, so I want to show you guys what realistic fat loss for petites may be so that you guys can feel inspired for your own journey and really understand the truth about how long it may take you, and then that's totally fine. So to start off, last year I went on a journey to do a bulk. So I intentionally upped my calories and gained weight in about 7 months time frame to help me put on muscle. I really wanted to build up my glutes, build up my shoulders, my back, and just kind of my overall physique. And so I implemented a calorie surplus to do that, which you gain weight and you gain body fat whenever you do that. The more calories you're introducing at a time, the more likely you are to put on body fat. So after about 7 months, I increased my weight by like 15 pounds. My peak weight was 148 pounds. So I absolutely did increase my glute size, my shoulders, and my back, but obviously I had gained a lot of body fat in that process. And so now it was time to diet down that fat. This is me currently after I lost 20 pounds. What a difference this transformation is on someone who is petite, someone who is 5'1", but it did take 20 pounds off to get to this look, and obviously maintaining as much muscle mass as I could. This wasn't like a 10-pound difference. This was a large chunk of weight that I had to take off my body. I started my fat loss, drum roll please. I started my fat loss plan back in March, you guys. That means it has taken me 10 months to lose 20 pounds. So the variables that I was keeping track of are the following: my calorie intake, and specifically my protein intake with that, my workouts, the type of workouts I was doing and the total volume I was doing, daily steps, and any extra cardio. If you guys are on a journey to lose fat, these are the metrics you need to pay attention to. All 4 of these you need to start measuring and keeping track of. I know it's boring, but this will be the cure to the headache of why you can't see progress and results. I promise. I specifically was aiming for a weight loss rate of about 0.5 pound per week. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but if I was trying to lose weight quicker, let's say I wanted to lose 1 pound per week, that is just me having to take out a lot more calories from my diet. And I just didn't want to do that because I didn't want to kind of shock my system and take out a ton of calories and just right off the bat be super, super hungry. And in the past, I had tried to follow low calorie diets before I knew what I was doing. And it always ended up in failure because I always ended up in that restrict, try to hit, 1,200, 1,300 calories for several days. And then you're just so hungry that you cannot help yourself but like just eat everything the next few days. If this has been happening to you, it's a sign that you are putting your calorie intake just too low. I would much rather go slow and actually see progress and be successful to my long-term goals than end up like in a never-ending torture loop of dieting and working out hard in the gym and not seeing results. We don't want that. Your calorie intake as someone who is 150 pounds is going to be higher than someone who weighs 120 pounds. So it kind of depends. Some petites are quite small and lean naturally, and you may be like weighing 110 pounds and currently eating 1,600 calories a day to maintain your weight or less. And some of you may be in that like 150 pounds or maybe even over, and maybe your calorie intake is higher. So for you, it will honestly depend on your current calorie intake to maintain your weight that will dictate what kind of deficit you can handle. If you're currently eating around 2,500 calories per day and your weight is consistent, yeah, you can handle a 500 calorie deficit that might place you at a weight loss rate of around 1 pound per week. This will vary depending on your daily activity and your metabolism. Everybody's metabolisms are inherently different. But let's say you're that 120-pound person who is only eating 15 to 1,600 calories a day. If you are trying to take out 500 calories, that is leaving you at an 1,100 calorie daily goal. And that is crazy low, you guys. That is so difficult to hit. I have never been able to hit 1,200 calories since tracking. You guys, you need to understand what a burden it is to actually try to stick to such a low calorie deficit. So my point being is that depending on how many calories you have to work with, that is the most important factor you need to look at that will dictate the weight loss rate that you can handle. I actually could have taken out 500 calories right off the bat, but there are two reasons that I did not do that. One, no matter how many calories you are currently eating, if you take a large chunk of calories out of your diet, your body feels it. Your body is like, whoa, hold up. 500 calories? You're doing what to me? And like your hunger signals spike, your leptin starts to reduce. So that satiety hormone starts to kind of drop. So you end up crazy hungry and not feeling as full whenever you do eat. And so there's a higher chance that you are going to kind of fall into sticking to some low calories and then overeating. So I was trying to make sure that that wasn't happening as much as possible. Second, you can already see progress on like a 250 to 300 calorie deficit. Why make it hard on yourself with a large calorie drop if you can still see results from a smaller calorie drop? Why would you make yourself suffer so much by taking out 500 calories right away when you could take out 250 calories and be making progress? And then whenever that progress stalls, okay, now you're gonna take out another 250 calories. That is how I prefer to do it. Some of you people really can handle a 500 calorie deficit and it's not gonna ruin you. You are not gonna fall into that binge restrict pattern, but I am saying this for those of you who go to an online calorie calculator. It tells you you need to be eating 1,250 calories a day to lose weight, probably because it is telling you you need to take out 500 calories to hit your weight loss goal of 1 pound a week. Not everybody is going to be able to lose 1 pound per week, especially my smaller framed petites. So how a fitness influencer goes about fat loss is not really the way that you should probably go about fat loss. 60-day diet plans, working out 5 to 6 times a week. A lot of you just don't have that capability. Plus, a lot of these fitness influencers, they have their routine down, they have their nutrition down. It has become easier for them over time. These are skills you may be learning for the very first time right now. And so it is going to take time for you to actually implement kind of these habits and change your habits to fit this lifestyle. So never feel bad about it. And please understand there is nothing wrong with you if you cannot lose like all of your fat in 60 days. Okay, guys, let's talk about the type of workouts that I was doing. What kind of workouts do you need to do to look lean and toned? You don't want to look bulky. You don't want to build a lot of muscle, except you actually do want to build a lot of muscle. You as a woman, you are not going to look bulky. I Promise. So during this time frame, during the past 10 months, I've been doing what I've been doing for several years, is resistance training. And I just focused on my staple lifts, hitting intensity and pushing my workouts hard. In other words, I didn't swap any traditional strength training for circuit training or HIIT, or sacrifice some of my lift days so I could fit in more cardio days and spin classes. No, 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 no. You stick with your lifting program and really focus on building and retaining muscle. You want to see resistance training as the tool for you to maintain your shape, your curves, help you hold on to that dense muscle tissue so that you can speed up fat loss. If you are losing your muscle mass at a similar rate of fat because you decide to just change up your training so that you're burning a lot of calories, or so that your heart rate is up and elevated, so that it feels like you're putting really intense effort into it, you need to keep resistance training and focus on pushing your intensity, using rep ranges within 5 to 30 and trying to come close to failure within that rep range for your exercise selection. Number 3, I had to keep track of my step goal. So I live in New York City. Some days I'm getting like a ton of steps. Some days I'm getting 15,000, 18,000 steps. But back in wintertime, so in March, I have a couple work from home days where I was only getting around 5,000 steps on average. So I needed to boost up that minimum step count from 5,000 to like 7,000 or 8,000. So that was how I addressed my step goal. And kind of throughout the rest of the week, I let the chips fall where they may. And it could be quite variable, but I was making sure that I was getting no less than 7,000 to 8,000 steps on any given day. So that is helping with my the energy out equation. Burning more calories because I'm using more energy because I'm taking more steps. The fourth thing is any extra cardio. I started to add in cardio into my plan. I added 3 days of incline walking on the treadmill. And then at some point I got bored of doing the incline treadmill. And so I switched, and the past several months I've been doing the Stairmaster. She's a bitch, you guys. So every so often, if I noticed my weight stalling for about 3 weeks in a row, I would change 1 to 2 of these variables. I would reduce my calories a little bit more. And if I had the capability to increase the intensity or the frequency of the dedicated cardio that I was doing, or my step count, that is what I did. So I told you guys that I increased my step count from minimum 5,000 up to 7,000 to 8,000. Over time, I have now worked up my minimum daily step goal to 12,000 steps per day. Currently, I am also doing the Stairmaster I went from 3 times a week to now 4 times a week. And I started off at like 15 minutes and now I'm up to 20 minutes. And I have played around with the intensity now of the 20 minutes. So I am now working a little bit harder within that 20-minute time frame than I had previously. Also, my calorie goal right now is somewhere around 1,500 to 1,650 calories per day on average. And then on the weekends, I have been giving myself like 2 free meals or so. That is bringing my calories up over the 1,500 to 1,600 calorie goal. And that is something that just works for me inherently. It's okay that I am bringing my calories up a little bit on the weekends. That is offsetting some of that extreme calorie deficit. And that is just what works for me. I'm able to be pretty consistent throughout the week and just kind of get to it, follow a routine. I'm busy, so it's easy to stick to that lower calorie goal on the weekdays. And then whenever I want to kind of indulge, splurge a little bit, spend time with friends on the weekends, then I allow myself a little bit more calories. And this is just what works for me. That strategy may not work for every single one of you. That's totally fine. Another reason I really wanted to make this video is because dieting and losing fat is time and it is dedication. And it's intense. Fitfluencers are just like, no biggie, you just do calorie deficit. And I lost 15 pounds in 8 weeks. And it's not easy, you guys. It is a lot of work and effort and strategizing and building up habits. My schedule is already more flexible than like the general population. I am a personal trainer. I am in the gym more frequently than a lot of you. And so it is easier for me to tackle on my workouts whenever I am working. I want to be so transparent about that. And for some of you, it may not be as realistic to go to the gym 5 times a week, to hit a super crazy high step goal, to add in a ton of cardio. You guys are going to have to build your strategy around what you are capable of doing and around your schedule. And it just goes back to fitfluencers. They have a lot of time on their hands to fit all of this shit in so that they can lose a good chunk of weight in a small amount of time. And finally, I want to talk about body image. It is crazy, you guys. Whenever you are in it and you are dieting, it feels like you're just not making progress because you just keep looking at yourself in the mirror day after day after day. And then maybe your eyeballs just keep going to the spots of your body that you just like really hate about yourself. And you kind of get in this loop about like, oh, I hate this thing. Why won't it change? It's not changing fast enough. I still have fat here. I still have fat there. I hate this about myself. Da 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 da. And your eye is just kind of trained to look at those things that you hate. And unfortunately, some of those things might be like where your body stores fat the most, and it may have the hardest time losing. Like me and my low belly, oh my God, it felt like my low belly was not budging at all. And then suddenly, after 10 months, I can finally see a difference. Anyway, my point being, it is tough to look in the mirror and see things that you don't like about your body and try to overcompensate with your plan. Trying to work out more frequently, trying to intensify your workouts too much, build up way too much volume into your plan that you're not actually recovering from or performing your sets very well, or reducing your calories too much. But if you guys are tracking all of these variables that I mentioned, and you for sure are hitting those deficit calories 6 out of the 7 days a week, and your step goal and your cardio goal and your resistance workouts, the weight loss will come. I really want to point out also that while the math may add up to my actually losing half a pound per week, physically, while I was in it, I was not actually losing half a pound week to week to week. Sometimes it was half a pound. Sometimes it was 0.7 of a pound. Sometimes it was nothing. And then after maybe 2 weeks, I would drop a pound or a pound and a half. It fluctuates. So sometimes you just kind of have to see how things are coming and see how the chips lie. And that is why tracking your variables is so important. Well, if you know that you've been consistent with those things, then, and your weight hasn't budged for a week or two, just give it time. Just give it a minute. Your body needs to kind of catch up to all of those things that you're giving it. And it will catch up. Whew. Okay, you guys, I hope this helped you understand how long it may actually take to see larger chunks of weight loss, and that in order for your plan to be sustainable, you may just have to go at a slower rate of weight loss to see the progress that you're trying to see and to actually achieve those physique goals. If you guys need help with your journey and you are looking to lose fat, tone up as a petite, you can apply to my coaching. I will just put the link in the description box below. You can just apply directly using that link. I hope to catch you in the next video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you found this helpful, inspiring, whatever. And I will catch you in the next video.